Welcome to CBT News with Shyann Malone.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to CBT News. I'm Shyann Malone. Thanks so much for watching. Here's a look at today's top automotive industry stories.
New research from HR training platform KPA indicates that consumers may be more frustrated with the auto sales process than dealers realize. Out of 2,000 survey respondents, 76% expect dealerships to be dishonest about their pricing, while 86% worry about hidden fees. However, only a third of respondents claim to have actually experienced dishonest pricing and deceptive add-ons when purchasing a vehicle. KPA says its research highlights the importance of transparency in the auto sales process and the crucial role it plays in the dealership's reputation and customer loyalty. New vehicle sales are expected to pass 1.21 million units this February, up 1.4% year over year, according to a joint forecast from J.D. Power and Global Data. Dealers are on track to sell more than 981,000 cars, an increase of 3.8% from last year, accounting for roughly 81% of all auto purchases this month. Manufacturer discounts are also helping bring consumers back to the dealership. The average incentive spend per vehicle is up 75.3% and is projected to hit $2,565. Meanwhile, inventory and discounts have caused car prices to fall. The average transaction price of a new vehicle is now down 4.2% from the previous year. Carvana made substantial financial recovery over the course of 2023, posting its first annual profit and improving buyer satisfaction with investments in technology. At the start of last year, it appeared the used car retailer was on the verge of bankruptcy after pre-owned demand crashed in the wake of renewed OEM production. However, cost-cutting measures and bondholder negotiations allowed the brand to strengthen efficiency and reduce its debt burden by $1 billion, resulting in a full-year net income of $450 million. Carvana now expects to earn $100 million in core profits by the end of the first quarter, with sales improving slightly and profit margins holding steady from Q4. Robotaxi companies are still struggling to meet consumer and regulatory safety expectations following a series of traffic incidents involving autonomous vehicles. Google-backed self-driving car brand Waymo was denied access to California's Los Angeles and San Francisco Peninsula areas this week, with state authorities saying they needed time to review the company's request. Meanwhile, Waymo's primary competitor, Cruise, is set to resume operations outside of California after a months-long suspension, implemented due to an accident and public safety investigation last fall. In the days since the incident, the company has lost multiple key leaders, including its CEO, and faced considerable pressures from consumers, GM executives, and state officials. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Andy Gelcher, president of Mohawk Chevrolet and chairman of the Chevrolet National Dealer Council, to see how dealers are reacting to Chevy's expanding EV lineup.
CBT News is expanding its reach like never before and is launching in over 70 million broadcasting households. Whether you have Roku, Apple TV, or a mobile device running on Android or iOS, you can now enjoy our engaging, in-depth interviews with dealers, automakers, trade associations, best-selling authors, motivational speakers, and so much more, whenever and wherever you are. Simply search CBT News in the App Store of your smart TV.
Are you getting a call maybe every hour from dealers around the country saying, what are we supposed to do with these EVs?
There's a lot of heat out there, and one of the things that I'm quick to remind my fellow dealers about is that it's a generally new customer base, and one of the things we really have to lean into is the fact that our existing Chevrolet customers are most likely not going to be EV adopters. Now, there will be some, but these are new customers who we need new marketing cadences for, and that we need to attract into our showrooms to consider our product. And I think that's really important when we're talking about our marketing efforts and getting used to EV sales. We need to identify the people for whom these cars are intended for. And that's a new customer base.
Yeah, for sure. It came up at the NADA convention that we were both at. I sat in on one of the meetings for J.D. Power at the summit, and came up that 33 million people searched the term EVs last month they were shopping for EVs online and wanting to know more information. However, 33 million people didn't buy, an EV. Do you think there may be a disconnect at the showroom level, maybe among the sales staff or the team or what have you, that and again, this question came up as well, that maybe there's something happening at that dealership level, whether it be the BDC or in person in the showroom, where maybe the salespersons or the salespeople are not as sold on EVs as we need them to be. Obviously, we need to win the hearts and minds of the sales staff and the managers on EVs as well, so you don't find a switching taking place where somebody comes in on an EV, says, I'm excited, I want to learn more, I want to drive them, but yet they drive out, in a gas-powered vehicle. Is there any validity to that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, change is hard, right? And we've been used to ICE for 100 years. And I think that you're introducing a totally new product and really a totally new process into the showroom. And you said it well, the front line is the temperature for what's going to happen, in the general marketplace. And I think it's important not only to educate our BDCs and our salespeople on this, but also to help them understand that this transition is not going to take a year or two. This is going to take some time, and there's a lot of challenges that we still have to deal with, not just from retailers, but from a grid standpoint and from a lot of other things that we do not have control over. So that takes time. So I think really the prevailing theme is everybody needs to take a deep breath and really let's see how this unfolds and just take it one day at a time.
And be sure to watch this full interview right here at cbtnews.com. Well, that wraps up our show for today, but we do invite you right back here tomorrow morning on cbtnews.com. And remember, you can always stay up to date with the most recent news and trends influencing the retail automotive industry by following us on TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, and X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm Shyann Malone. You have a good one.
CBT News, your #1 resource for auto industry news and content. CBT News is expanding its reach like never before and is launching in over 70 million broadcasting households. Whether you have Roku, Apple TV, or a mobile device running on Android or iOS, you can now enjoy our engaging, in-depth interviews with dealers, automakers, trade associations, best-selling authors, motivational speakers, and so much more, whenever and wherever you are. Simply search CBT News in the App Store of your smart TV